in the holistic health, biohacking, longevity industry, I think for a while there was a lot of first-time players where wasn't a whole lot of people in their respective segments. And so they could kind of get away with saying whatever they want, charging whatever they want for service, and there wasn't really a checks and balances system. It was just kind of, we're going to tell you what this is and you're going to listen, and there wasn't a whole lot of data. When it comes to the equipment side of things, these mom and pop practitioners are spending all this money on this equipment, whether it be cryo or something else.
Behind the practice.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Behind the Practice. I'm Sean Quintero, your host today, and we have an incredible guest, Jake. Jake, thanks so much for being a part of the show today.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So for people meeting you for the first time, tell us a little bit about what you do, why you do it.
Yeah. So I'm with Artic Systems Cryotherapy. We manufacture whole body cryotherapy chambers out of Portland, Oregon. And really, there's other cryo manufacturers out there, but the reason we're into it, we're practitioners first. We started building these for our own clinics. Because there's a lack of transparency in the industry, and so our CEO, he's a thermo-mechanical engineer by trade. He worked for a small little company called Intel, and his wife's been running wellness clinics since 2015. And so when they were opening their clinic up in Portland, she was like, "Okay, let's buy a machine." And we've worked for other cryo manufacturers. And Evan, being an engineer, thermo-mechanical engineer, and he's like, I think I could do a better one. And so we call it his hold my beer moment. And he's like, he took a sabbatical from Intel and he built our first ever dual chamber.
Wow.
And we built them to run in a clinic the way we would want them to run, because one of the biggest struggles in a clinic environment is if you have to pull a staff member away from like a more expensive service that they could generate more revenue off of to go run a 3-minute cryo session.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's something in and out. We also give the users the ability to control the intensity from inside the chamber, and that's the whole reason we did that, is to put the user in control of their own therapy and give them a better experience. And so that's what we focus on. We're in the business of getting this amazing therapy out to people, but also making it easier for the operator.
Yeah. You mentioned transparency being a challenge. Tell me more about that.
So, in the holistic health, biohacking, longevity industry, I think for a while there was a lot of first-time players where wasn't a whole lot of people in their respective segments. And so they could kind of get away with saying whatever they want, charging whatever they want for service, and there wasn't really a checks and balances system. It was just kind of, we're going to tell you what this is and you're going to listen, and there wasn't a whole lot of data. When it comes to the equipment side of things, these mom and pop practitioners are spending all this money on this equipment, whether it be cryo or something else, and they really have no idea how to monetize it, number one. They have no idea what service costs actually are going to be. So companies will be like, you'll call them and say, hey, my machine's down. They'll be like, $1,400, we'll tell you what's wrong with it. It doesn't need to fix it.
Wow.
And at the end of the day, we're in the business of healing people with this equipment.
Yeah.
We're not going to price gouge. We want you to make money off it, but also we want to get an amazing therapy out to these people. And so, that's starting to change, because as this industry grows, you're starting to see a lot more research come out on things, not only from the therapy side, but the practice side. And so, it's an uphill battle, but I think over the next 3-4 years here, we're going to start seeing a lot more transparent people in the industry. That's what we pride ourselves on, service and transparency. We're not going to lie to you about any aspect of it. Yeah,
talking about 3 to 4 years from now, let's kind of put our crystal ball to work. 5 years from now, where do you think the industry is heading?
So I think we're going to start seeing a lot more hybrid business models, because forever, like let's take fitness for example, right? You'd have a gym that would refer you over to someone for recovery services, right? Or refer you over for a peptide to someone else. And I think we're going to start seeing more businesses like that kind of merge together. And in fact, a couple years ago at a conference, I sat on a panel and I was asked the same question, and this is what I said. I got laughed at on stage. There was only like 3 people in the room that sided with me. And we're starting to see that already. We're starting to see more functional medicine move into like the recovery space, kind of doing it in tandem, because a lot of that all works very well, like it's synchronized together when positioned correctly. So I think that's where the future of the industry is going to go. I think the franchise models are blowing up like crazy. And so I think at some point people are going to start getting a little bit of fatigue. Instead of having different memberships everywhere, they're going to want to try to get everything under one roof.
Well, what do you think the challenges are to that vision that we have to overcome to make that?
Yeah, that's actually a great question, and it's something I do think about quite a bit. I realistically think it comes down to there's going to be a lot of people that either fall or flourish, and that's kind of what it's going to take. We're going to weed out the bad actors still. in order to make that happen. Because are you more referring to like, like if there's any milestones that need to happen to make that
Both,
happen?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, well, I guess let me back up for a second, kind of to how this whole thing started, in my opinion. The one silver lining that came from COVID is it forced all of us to stay at home with our own habits, right? And so we had to kind of start taking a look at things, but also it uncovered a bunch of distrust in the traditional medicine side of things.
Yeah.
And so you had more people starting to look into holistic ways of healing, holistic ways of just taking charge of their own health, because in the traditional medical field, it's just prescribe.
Yeah.
That's it. And people are learning now that they don't need that. So for a wellness clinic owner, being able to be that trusted partner to him and getting that message out is what's going to help grow it.
Yeah.
The thing hurting it is people are obviously in it to make money, and so they're just trying to put a bunch of locations on the map.
Yeah.
And they're not exactly keeping a uniform like treatment plan or anything like that. It's whatever gets the best ROI, which I think that's where the line gets coming from.
And I don't think it's a surprise that, in our capitalistic society,
Right.
we're going for the dollar.
Right.
How do you think we build systems that enable businesses to make have a bottom line impact, while also keeping patient care and, healing at the forefront?
It's collaborating. That's really what it comes down to. In fact, that's a project that I'm working on right now. Is we're building a back end to our website where it'll be a client portal where it'll have a whole like learning management system where you could actually get paired with equipment owners or clinic owners that are doing it successfully, that are giving great treatments and healing people while still making money. Because that's another thing too. There's not a whole lot of people to learn from in this industry. You kind of got to do a lot of research to find them, and so we want to make that more accessible. Right?
Yeah.
We don't want to just be someone selling you a piece of equipment and a pat on the back and say good luck. Right.
Yeah.
So we want to connect you with the right people that have done it, that could walk you through exactly how to set up your practice. We're even entertaining the idea of potentially building a CRM that can integrate with all that stuff so they can kind of really get a full picture, because clinicians they don't really have the mindset of like, making sales, memberships, things like that. They're in the business of healing people. They know how to do that. We want to offload that. So where at the back end, it's already happening. You have one or two people on staff that can really take charge of the membership side of things or the revenue side of things while you focus on healing your patients.
That's amazing.
And getting the message out.
You mentioned one of the problems that this equipment solves is not having to remove someone from being able to supply a higher revenue service. What are some of the other benefits that you've seen people experience from it?
Cryotherapy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. So, realistically, when it comes to cold therapy, there is no better cold therapy than a cold plunge. Cold water is the best. It's a deep heat sink. It penetrates deep. Granted, it's a foggy line for how long you should stay in there because everyone's body's different. But in a business setting, cold plunge is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Because when people are hopping out of a cold tub, they're not thinking about containing water.
Yeah.
Right? They're getting water all over the place. You go into some places, and by noon, they got a half inch of standing water in the cold plunge. But then also you got to manage the pH levels and things like that. So cryotherapy provides a dry alternative. You can run people in them back to back to back. It's going to run autonomously. There's a timer on it, so the clinic owner or the clinician doesn't have to worry about that. And they're still getting, you get that 30-degree skin temperature drop, get all the benefits of cold therapy, the norepinephrine production, the pain relief. It's also, I've found it to be really beneficial for mental health.
Interesting.
It's a cold environment. You have to kind of force yourself to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And so for me, it is absolutely critical to mental health. If you start off your first part of your day with a cryo session or a cold plunge session, you're like, I could do anything today. I just did 3 minutes in sub-zero temperature.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you experienced that benefit on the mental health side? Tell me more about that.
100%. And I live in a condo right now, so I don't have space for my own cryo machine. Otherwise, I'd have one.
Yeah.
But our pool is open year round.
Yeah.
They don't heat it.
Okay.
So I go jump in the deep end because I don't want to be crunched up.
Yeah.
I'll go in there in the morning and jump in, get up to my neck, 2.5, 3 minutes depending on the water temperature.
Yeah.
Get out, and I suffer pretty badly from ADHD.
Okay.
And I could do that. If I do that and get a workout in, I don't even need to take anything for it.
Wow.
I'm dialed, I'm focused, especially once the blood starts flowing back through your body and you're warming up, you feel fired up, and it's because your endorphins are flowing, And so you get all the feel-good chemicals in your brain first thing in the morning. It's a great day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let's say somebody discovers your work years from now. What do you hope that they're going to be saying about what you guys have done?
That we did it right. And that's really kind of one of the principles of how we started this is like our belief is if we do the right things right, the money will follow. We're not here to try to ask for all the money you have or anything like that. That's why we're constantly looking at ways to make this therapy more affordable, but also more affordable to bring into a business because it is beneficial. And so we wanted to be known as the people that are doing it right, that we're transparent, and we pride ourselves on that. Our clients that purchase from us, we take a lot of them from our competitors, and we end up being best friends with them. We go up and see them, and they ask us to stay at their house, sort of thing. Become good friends and good partners, and that's what we want to be known for. We want to make money along the way, but we want to build lasting relationships because this is an industry that we love. We're passionate about it. We're not just passionate about manufacturing equipment. It's the industry as a whole.
Yeah, that's amazing. Final word of encouragement. Somebody's listening. Maybe it's a clinician. Maybe they're excited about the equipment. Maybe they are, a patient, and they're like, "Oh, I want to know if my doctor does this." What's one final piece of encouragement you would give them?
If you're hesitant to try it, because let's be real, people hate cold.
Yeah,
cold sucks.
Give me a warm blanket, and I'm solid.
It's a slap in the face when you first do it sometimes. And so, my word of encouragement would be just try it. Rip off the Band-Aid. You won't regret it. Sure, that first session's going to suck. But you're going to have to really kind of dig deep. But the benefits you'll get from it will be huge. And if you're a clinician, if you're not offering a form of cold therapy, you need to be because it works in tandem with everything else. But also in a clinic environment, specifically cryo, you get people, all too often I see clinicians that are trying to get a premium membership off the first visit, and you haven't built the trust yet. Right? So we give everyone their first cryo session for free because it's the only modality you'll have in your business that'll get an instant result in under 5 minutes. It builds trust instantly. And then from there, you can get them on a base level membership, and you try to create the ritual of them coming in 2 or 3 times a week for something. Your likelihood of upselling them to a premium membership multiplies by about 400 in the first 60 days. And so if you're a clinician and you're considering adding a form of cold therapy, just do it. If you don't have the budget for a cryo machine, start with a cold plunge. Or maybe find someone to partner with because it's one of the most beneficial services that you can have.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'll speak to my personal experience. I do cold plunges. My first cold plunge, I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I do it. I think I did it for 30 seconds, and then I came out, and 5 minutes later, I was like, I want to do that again. That was amazing.
100%. That's because you get the vasoconstriction as soon as you get in there, and then as you start to warm up, your veins dilate, blood starts flowing back, and your endorphins are going. You're like, man, this is amazing. It's almost like its own high. It very much is. So I've learned to, okay, I'm going to be a baby for the first 3 seconds, and then I'm going to feel amazing after this. So I love that. Thank you so much. How can people find more information about you? You can look us up at articsystems.com, or you can look us up on social media. We've got people across the country that can come see you. You can book a call directly with me if you'd like. We'd love to see you and chat with you about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. Check that out check the link out in the description below. And I'm Sean Quintero, your co-host or your host for Behind the Practice, and we'll see you in the next episode. Behind the Practice is produced by Next Step Social and Podcasting and hosted by Katie Brinkley and Sean Quintero. A special thank you to our guests today. This episode was recorded live at the Boston BioLive Functional Longevity Summit. A special thank you to the team that helped make this podcast happen.